Hello again everybody, welcome back to LilyLuLou. My name is Karen, if you haven't been here before. A very warm welcome to you and thank you for joining me again today if you're a returning visitor. So I don't know how this is going to go today. I'm not feeling very well and I've come up in my craft room to play, but I don't really know if my head's in the game. But I really need to get on with these Christmas journals, so I'm just going to do a bit of work on them today and see how we go. So what I thought I would do today is I'm taking one of these pages with the excuse me, with the edging strips on, you know, that I need. These papers, let's rewind in case you haven't been here before. These papers are all printouts that I did some of them several years ago, and I'm trying to use up all of the things that I've got printed out. And some of these were done on my old printer, which had a mind of its own and used to print all sorts of, basically it did what it felt like. So I have some of these pages that are, it's not exactly borderless, but they don't fit the page properly. But I haven't gone through and cut all these strips off yet because I thought I might use them to add flips on, or for other things, you know, to even add something on and make a tuck spot or whatever. But once I've got the journals, you know, roughly how I want them to be, if there's any other pages left that are still like this, then I will just trim these edges off and they will just be shorter pages in the book. So what I thought I would do today is, obviously, I'm going to do something with an old envelope. Because I have done that on the cover. I made the cover pieces that I've been working on were made from window envelopes, if you saw that part. But that's all I've done with envelopes so far. So obviously one of my journals, it needs an envelope of some sort in it. Well, it's going to have several actually. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut this envelope down to size. I don't feel very well prepared today. Not that that even makes a difference when I feel like I am prepared. I still seem to end up not knowing what I'm doing. But I'm just forewarning you. So, and of course it's pouring with rain outside. It was really grey and horrible, and now the sun's come out and it's right in my eyes. So I'm hoping that it's okay for the video, but I'm just going to pause a moment to chop off that bottom and neaten up this edge. So I'll be back in a sec. Right, I've done that, but as I've checked the back, I haven't quite taken enough off of this edge to neaten it up. But obviously I'm going to be covering that, so if I just go a little bit further, then that will sort that out. And I've also taken a sliver off the top edge here to open it up so that I can work on the whole thing, and then I will glue it back together how I want it when I've finished. So what I thought was, if I attached, that's going to be folded over, and then if I attach this envelope here, it can be a pocket if I leave this open, but it will also flip out so that you can, you know, stick stuff on the back, or depending on what paper I use to cover it, you could journal on it. So that's my thought for the moment, although I could do it that way and close that. Then we could have a pocket at the top and it would flip that way for a little surprise in the window there. That might be quite nice. I mean, I'm going to have several to make, so we can do them all different. We don't have to do each one the same. So the first thing to do, whichever way I use it, is to find something to go behind this window. and then I'll need to decide whether I want it to be stuck on the back so that it gets hidden when you put something in the pocket, or whether it's going to be stuck to the window so then you don't see what you're putting in the pocket. So let's have a rummage through our papers and see what we might want to use. So I hope everybody is well today and happy. I also pulled out this Christmas card. I've got a whole stash of Christmas cards somewhere I've kept intending to use, but I haven't found those yet. But I was going through one of the drawers downstairs having a bit of a tidy up the other day, and I found that, so I brought that up here so that it's ready to go. So we could have one of these little angel-y type people. That's not quite big enough. Well, obviously I could put something behind it to make it big enough. Then I've got one of my fussy cut ephemera here. Are these, oh, that's a bit taller. I think these are the same ones as we used for the front. So I could pop something like that in there. I don't think any of these are going to be big enough, all the fussy cut pieces. Decided that wasn't big enough, didn't we? What else have we got here? They're not tall enough to cover the whole window. Put that ruler out of the way. So as you can see, I am in my pyjamas and my dressing gown. Don't feel like getting dressed, so I'm not. Having a lazy day. Now I thought maybe one of these tags would work. I'm not sure if they're quite tall enough. Let's just cut round one and see. I don't think they're going to be big enough actually. But I'm not very good at judging things like that. Oh, it might just work. Interesting. So I could use those. Is there anything else here that I might like? No. Oh, I was going to use those for my tri-fold pockety thingies. So now most of the things I'm making, I want to make 2 for each journal so that I've got the same thing in the front half of the journal as I have in the back half. And as you know, I'm making 3 journals, so everything I make, I'm going to have to make, well, I don't have to, but I would like to make 6 of. So I could do 3 of these, you know, the first way I mentioned, and then 3 the other way I mentioned. So I've only got 4 of these tag shapes, but they are digis. I can print out more, although as you know, I am trying to use up what I already have printed. And I'm just looking. The page that this is going on has this image, so I'm just looking to see what I think would go nicely. Might use this one because it's got the blue, and there's not a lot of blue going on because most of everything I'm using is red and green. So For a minute there, I thought I hadn't turned the camera back on. I was just peering at the counter to make sure it was actually moving. I thought I was sitting here talking to myself. Not that that would be unusual. And I don't know why I'm trying to cut these so carefully, because I'm going to stick them behind the window. So you're not even going to see the edges. I really want them bigger than the window. I want it bigger than the window, don't I, to be able to stick down. Silly Karen. Right. And I feel like this envelope is not flat. Is that the one? When I was doing the cover, there was one that was playing about like that, wasn't there? I wonder if this is the same envelope. There's my glue. I'm just going to stick that corner bit down. I want to leave it on because it's giving the whole thing a little bit of extra strength, but that flappy bit might cause problems, so just going to pop that down. And I'm looking on my table for my glue stick. No idea where that is. My table is such a mess, but I really don't have the energy to tidy up at the moment, although it would probably make things a bit easier. Right. Hopefully that will be all right once I've covered it. And I'm also working on the assumption that working while I'm not feeling well, if something goes wrong and I don't like it when I've finished, I'll just scrap it and make something else. Oh, you know what I'm just thinking? I probably should have used double-sided tape for this. I have to remember on the other ones to leave more around the edge. Right, let's see if I can line this up. And then what I'm also going to do in here, I'm going to cover the inside so that if we're using it as a pocket either way, nothing's going to catch on there. So I just want some random old bits of paper, really. We have now, I did have somewhere some misprints from the printer, but I don't know where I put those. Anything in there? I have my envelope supply to one side of me. Oh, I know what I could use. Bit of old junk mail, and that will give it some nice strength as well. So if I stick that in there. Now where is my glue stick? Last time I was filming it was rolling all over the table in front of me. Today it's disappeared. Oh well, we'll just use this. think I will be stitching around this as well at some point, so I don't need to go too mad with the glue. And I am going to tidy all this up on my trimmer as well afterwards, so I can chop off any excess edges or anything like that. Oh, that's not gotten down very straight, is it? Try to line up the... Actually, that's not really going to matter, is it? Because it is going to be folded, so just keep it like that, Karen. Right, so now I want to decorate the front. Just wondering whether to fold these edges over, and that will strengthen that even more if I'm using it as a pocket. You know, just have a little tiny bit folded over there. Just to make that pocket work more nicely, but is it going to make the whole thing too bulky? I'm just wondering which thing isn't straight, because that's not square. It's the front one. Ink's coming off on my hands. Got many background pages left, although this other kit that I've got floating about that I haven't used for actual pages or kits, I'm just wondering if this will sort of blend in, so that I can use it throughout for decorating and things. It is a completely different style, but it's still the red and green, so we might be able to make it work. So let's have a go with that. So it was this page we were using. I don't really want one with the cat on. Not sure. Be good to use up some of these portrait pages. Let's have a look at this. Right, I'm going to tear that there. So that the doggy is not harmed. No doggies were harmed in the making of these journals. I'm going to take this white edge off. I'm going to stick that on there, and again I'm going to fold that over onto the inside. Right, just bear with me, I'm going to hunt for my glue stick. I'm back again. Oh, I literally moved every single thing off of my desk. Couldn't find it, looked on the floor, couldn't find it. I thought, how the hell have I lost a brand new glue stick? It's in my lace tin. Oh dear. Right, where was I? Totally lost the thread of what I'm doing now. Oh right, I was gluing that down, wasn't I? So everything's moved now, so I probably won't be able to find what I'm looking for some other reason in a minute. Right, let's put some glue on this. And I'm going to line that up there like that. So, first piece down. Don't know how long I've been filming, but I've probably been up here over an hour, stopping and starting and fiddling about, and I haven't got very far, have I? So now I've put away all of the papers because I was trying to tidy up while I was looking for things. Right. Let's have out some of the music. And some of that. That was the doggy we were using. Right, that'll do for now. Don't think both of those stockings will go on, but will they wrap round nicely? And have part of the back done already. Yeah, maybe I could do that. I'm just putting glue on that piece first, and then I will fold it over and do the other side. Now, you've seen me do this lots of times before with envelopes, so I hope this isn't too boring for you. Now, if I cut that piece off before I put the glue on this time, and then if we glue this back piece down, I can't even pick up the paper. Now let's try and get a straight edge here. If I line that up there. Oh, won't stop moving. It doesn't look very straight. Something's way out. That's a little bit better. Right, I'm just thinking if this is going to be at the edge of a page, it's going to be quite obvious if it's not quite straight, so otherwise I wouldn't worry too much. You know, it's a junk journal. Now this piece, would that fit along there? It's not quite big enough. Let's do some music along there. Have we got any little pieces already torn up? Don't really want autumn pieces in there, do we? That's supposed to be in my end of year journal pile. So let's tuck that up there, sort that out in a minute. Oh, we could have that advent piece up there, couldn't we? How high do I want that? Yeah, it's about right. And then we can tear off the edges. I'm not going to worry too much about the top and bottom edges because I'm probably going to trim those to tidy everything up. And then I'll either stitch the envelope together or just stitch around everything before I stick it back together. I haven't decided yet. So then I wanted that little doggy down here, I think. So I'm just wondering tear him out and then see. Thinking maybe I should fussy cut round his hat and have that sticking over the to about there, didn't it? You know, popping up above the window part. So or is that too much because we've got this little creature here and then a doggy here? Maybe we should have the doggy on the back. And how am I, need to think about how I'm attaching this, don't I? If that's just sticking on there. We're going to have that, and then we could have maybe the doggy over the top. That might work. Or if we had it this way. Then it will open like that, and it will flip like that. In which case we could have one of those, not this one, but something like that with the writing area on it. Down here. We could do that anyway, couldn't we? Even if it's going to be... Sorry, I'm flipping backwards and forwards and I don't really know what I want. We could even have that down there. Like that. Or should we have another piece of music? See if I've got a piece of music that's nearer the size. So we could either have that, so we could have that with the music, or we could have this with our Christmas things. That feels fairly flat to write on, okay. I quite like both. getting really dark now. I've pulled the blind down because the sun was blinding me, and now it's getting dark. I don't think those two things go together, but we could have some more music on this page. And the doggy, yeah, I might do that. So I'm going to put this Christmas things down on here. I'm just going to open the blind because I can't see what you're doing. I don't think it's going to make much difference. The writing goes over the edge of that, so I am going to cut that top piece off. Still not very straight. And then round the corners again. And I'm going to pop that there. Because I can. I'm just thinking, do I want a little embellishment of some sort? Rummaging. No, that's too white. I can come back and do that, can't I? Let's just get the actual thing made. Right, so then on the back, if I'm going to have my doggy down there, and I'm going to have some music up there, I just want something to go over here. Now I'm wondering, thought I had, can you hear the rain? I wonder if that's being picked up on the camera. Rain's absolutely driving against the window in front of me. I thought I had some of that green spotty paper floating about that I could use as an edge. I'm just having a quick rummage. I could use some of that. Strange. I know it's not the full title. No. I just saw that and knew that picture was that little creature singing and thought that might go on there, but it's still not quite right. Now these are not going to be wide enough. These are not tall enough. That's one of those tag pieces. Seems a shame to use that just for the edge. Could use some of this. Enough. Would help if you folded it straight down. Let's use a wider piece. Oh, I'm not on my glue mat. Well, I feel like this has been another mammoth task today, even though I haven't actually done much. So, I'm sorry if it's been a bit of a chore to watch. But once I've done this, I am going to leave it here because I really don't feel very well. I think I'm going to go and have a bath and then curl up on the settee, put some Christmas films on and come back to my crafting another day. Right, now then. Pop him there, but he does need something behind him. Whew. Should really rip these things more randomly, but I start doing it and then I think, oh, everything's got edges, everything's square. And I actually prefer the look of everything being torn and random, you know, more organic shapes. But I always start and just start sticking square bits down. I must make a conscious effort when I'm collaging to, you know, make things a bit more organic. Oops. Right, that needs to go on that edge. And then I want that there. I don't want it there. It needs something else as well, doesn't it? Yeah, I think that'll be all right. Now there was a bit of pen on that music paper. This is obviously an old book. I don't know whether to stick something there to cover it up or whether to just embrace that because it's, you know, part of the history of what we've used. But I'm just going to rip that off for now. Now that we can write on there, it's got a bit of journaling space. We can write here. This is going to be an envelope, so I need to put a little notch in there. Not an envelope, a pocket. You know what I meant. So now I just need to tidy up the top and bottom edge. Yeah, and then I'm just going to stitch around it, I think. So I will go and do that now. So I will see you in a moment. Right, so I'm back again. I was toying with the idea of whether to stitch this in, but I could only do that if I used it that way, like I said, and I was sitting here looking at this, trying to decide which way round it looked best, and I thought actually me trying to work out how to stitch that in without making a boo-boo today is probably a bit too much to ask. So I have done it so it will go that way, so I've got to stick that down there. But what I'm thinking is, because this is so white, I'm just going to pop a little bit of ink along that edge, and I think I will use the red ink that I was using on those covers, although I still wasn't 100% happy with how that came out. I think it might need it there, so just going to run just a little bit along there. And a little bit along here, just to blend everything in together. So that's that one done. Now I'm covered in ink. just want to pop that down on there. So let's get the glue mat, and where's the other glue? Don't want to put glue on the wrong edge. I keep as I'm doing this, I'm looking, thinking, is that right? Is that right? Is that the right way around? Am I doing it right? So that's on there. Right, pop that out of the way before I get ink on absolutely everything, Karen. And look for your bone folder. That's what you want. Just burnishing that because that's quite a heavy piece. I want to make sure it's on there fairly securely. Although, you know, once all the pages are sewn in and everything, it's going to be fine. So let's pop it back in the book and see what it's going to look like. So this is our cover. That's our first page. That is up the right way. And this one goes in here. So this is at the beginning of the book. So that will be the cover. One of these will be going on the front, but I don't know which one's going on which book yet. But just for argument's sake, let's say that's going on there. It's going to have a bit more zhuzhy about it. And then there's going to be some sort of pocket in there. And then we're going to open that. Got a short page there, which I think is fine, and then that opens like that. We've got a pocket in there. I'm going to have to pop something in, and then it opens there. We've got all that space. So I managed to get it without making any mistakes in the end, which I'm quite surprised about today, but I am going to leave it there today. So thank you for joining me. I hope you found that interesting, if not entertaining. And I will be back again, hopefully in a couple of days, depending on whether I can shake this silly bug off. I think it's some sort of stomach bug. But yeah, hopefully I'll be well enough to come and play again in another couple of days, and we'll do hopefully some more work on the Christmas journal. So thank you for joining me today. Take care, enjoy your own crafty time, and I'll be back again soon. Bye bye.